They say some people break quietly. No loud screams, no broken things, just silence. That's how Alex disappeared, from the world, and from himself. His room was a mess, just like his life. Letters he never opened, plans he never started. Everything collapsed after his startup failed. But the worst part? Not the failure, but how he lost faith in who he was. People thought Alex was doing fine, smiling at reunions, posting grateful captions. But no one knew the nights he cried on the bathroom floor, whispering, "Why me?" over and over again. He isolated himself, deleted numbers, blocked chats. Even his mom stopped texting. He just needs time, they said. But time can feel like a prison when your own mind is the enemy. One morning he stood at the edge of a bridge, not to jump but to feel something. Anything. The wind on his face, the echo of his breath. That day he didn't jump, but something inside him did. It shifted. A stranger's voice broke the silence. "You okay, bro?" It was just 3 words, but they were enough to pull him back. That moment proved it. Sometimes the smallest kindness saves a life. He didn't tell anyone he was healing. He just started walking. No destination, no timeline, just one step, then another. And then one day he looked up and realized he had walked far from his pain. He started journaling again, at first just 1 sentence a day. "I'm still here. It hurts. I'm trying." But day by day the words became his medicine. His pen didn't fix the world, but it helped him understand his own. He picked up his guitar. The strings were rusty, his hands shaky. But he played anyway, not for others, just for his soul. Because sometimes, the music we make in pain heals more than the applause ever did. Healing wasn't loud. It didn't come with fireworks or aha moments. It was quiet, like making tea in silence, like folding laundry, like choosing to wake up, even when he didn't want to. Alex sat on a bench as cold wind swept through the park. He watched leaves fall one by one like the pieces of who he used to be. But strangely, in the silence, he felt something new. Strength. The nights were still long. Alex still stared at the ceiling. But he wasn't afraid anymore. He was learning to sit with the pain, to face it, to say, "I see you." And somehow, that changed everything. Rain fell gently. Alex stood in the street, letting it wash over him. He didn't cry, but his soul felt soaked. Not in sadness, but in something softer, like peace, or maybe grace. That night, by candlelight, Alex wrote, "I'll never be the same person, and that's not a bad thing." His hand trembled, but his heart was steady. He was rewriting his life, not from scratch, but from scars. One morning, he helped an old woman carry groceries. Her smile warmed him, not because he needed praise, but because helping others helped him. Kindness, he realized, was the therapy he never knew he needed. In a small classroom, kids laughed as Alex drew silly faces on the whiteboard. He wasn't a perfect teacher, but he was real. He taught not from books, but from wounds that had turned into wisdom. In a dusty memory, young Alex helped his father fix an old radio. His dad said, "Some broken things aren't meant to be thrown away, just repaired." Years later, that line echoed louder than ever. At sunrise by the river, Alex breathed in the misty air. He wasn't chasing time anymore. He was finally learning how to be, to sit, to breathe, to simply exist, without needing to escape. In front of the mirror, Alex saw new eyes staring back. Eyes that had cried, broken, rebuilt, and now carried light. He smiled, not because everything was perfect, but because he finally loved the imperfect. Step by step, Alex walked down a long, empty road. No music, no finish line. But he walked anyway, because some journeys aren't about applause. They're about rediscovering your own heartbeat. He placed a sticky note on the wall. Rising isn't about timing, it's about choice. That sentence became his anchor, a reminder that rock bottom wasn't death, it was the ground he could rise from. That night on the rooftop, Alex sipped tea and watched the city lights flicker. He used to feel like a ghost, but now he felt present, quietly alive. Sometimes peace doesn't shout. It whispers. One day he opened a letter, not from the past, but from the future. A new opportunity. Not because he chased it, but because the world finally saw what he'd been building in the dark. One of his students cried after being bullied. Alex hugged the boy and whispered, "I was bullied too, but I didn't stop." That day, Alex realized his past pain was saving someone else's future. Leaves fell from a tree above him. He stood still. He used to fear change, but now he understood. Sometimes things fall apart, not to end, but to make space for something new. Alex lit a candle beside his father's photo. No tears, just gratitude. His dad was gone, but his wisdom stayed. Sometimes the dead live through our choices, through the way we carry their strength. "Welcome back, Mr. Alex," the kids cheered. He laughed. He once thought his life was over, but now he'd stepped into a world where he was needed, and that made it all worth it. In his journal, Alex wrote 2 words: "Thank you, pain." Because pain didn't break him. It built him. Without it, he wouldn't know strength. Without it, he wouldn't know. He survived. At the mountaintop, arms wide open, Alex felt the wind hit his face. No applause, no camera, just him. And that was enough. Because true victory isn't when they see you, but when you see yourself. Life's meaning isn't found at the top. Sometimes it's found on the walk home, in the quiet, in the detours, in the version of you that rises stronger from all that once broke you.